They already got a contract.
Hell nah, G's up, nigga. 7-4 to the world blow, nigga. If you ain't folks, fuck you, nigga. Hard part, nigga, the hood of the hardest. Bitch, you straight retarded. Bankroll stay hoes, 4 days same clothes. Get your weight up, whore. 900 roast block, 26 and hardy. RIP to my nigga Lil Lewis and B-Boy. It's not a game. Oh, what up, nigga? Nigga.
Don't do that again. Don't do that. Yeah.
Oh, what up, nigga? G's up, nigga.
Cause don't want to let me come and eat 15, so I'm gang banging.
What's wrong, puppy power?
You're getting down here because you're in trouble, are you? They're just keeping you down here to keep you out of trouble? I know Corey Green over at 24 is in the same boat, so. Greenlee's working on some programs where you guys are going to get a chance to get out a little bit more and stuff. So, give you a chance to get those rolling. Should be here in a couple weeks. When are you looking at leaving?
25 days.
25 days? See, you'll actually be going out right when things get started up, so everything will be cool. Just keep staying out of trouble. Because I haven't heard your name for a while, so. But is it gotten better since Greenlee came down here?
I don't know. I just came down here like yesterday.
Yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's still not as new. At least you're not in room 7. So we had the nastiest offender in room 7 ever when we first opened this place up. When we left, you know that wall that's toward control in that room? That whole wall from top to bottom was covered with boogers, semen, spit. We went in there, we cleaned that room for 4 days straight. We were wearing all that biohazard stuff. This kid was nasty. So, who's in room 7?
Ain't me, I ain't do that.
I know you didn't do it. 25 days? Stay straight for 25 days and you'll be good. You done with DOC? You done with DOC? Just keep staying out of trouble, stay off everybody's radar screen. Everything will be cool. All right, Cole, we'll stay out of trouble, man. Hold on a second. Warden, I can't see through your stuff either. What's up?
Hey, I'm at my level 3. I'm about to get my level 4 in 2 weeks.
You finally decided you had enough of DOC?
Yeah.
I'm hip. You've been down here for a grip. I think you're the, you and Ulysses are the veteran staff or veteran offenders down here, aren't you?
No, I've been down here 18 months. I've been down here like 20.
That is a long ass time to be down here playing around.
Yeah, I'm about to go home when I get off that dumb stuff.
Yeah, what level you on?
3. About to get my 4 in 2 weeks.
You know about this program that Green's starting up, right?
Nah.
He's gonna get like an honor program going down here where some of you guys, they're gonna try to start working you guys out a little more before you go out to GP to get y'all ready.
Yeah.
So like the marching and some other stuff. He's already talked to me about getting a TV down here. I got one of those big projector TVs. We could throw it up on the wall. So there'll be some good stuff happening for you guys as long as you guys keep being straight.
All right.
Warden, stay out of trouble, man.
All right, thanks.
Yep. What's up, Sabalo? They thought I was doing a good enough job that they gave me a promotion and moved me up front. So I'm working in the training department as a training coordinator.
Hey, you know my mail up there? You know Miss Sergeant Redfield? She like to play with my mail, rip it up and shit.
What? They better not be ripping up your mail.
I swear to God, look, you can ask everybody over here. She be setting people up and stuff. I'm on full restriction right now because she started digging her nails in my arm and they was taking me from the showers. I was in shackles and handcuffs. And, slam on the bed. I ain't gonna lie, man. I did spit in her face though, man.
Why, was it before or after all that?
It was after that. After the fact that she done it.
That's never the answer. Trying to win a battle like that with staff, but there's a right way to go about it. Give me a chance to look at some of that and see what's going on with it.
Yeah, hey man.
Because temporal mail, That's a federal offense. They can't do that. Not unless it's stuff that you're not allowed to have.
No, she really do. Look, I had pictures that came in like a couple weeks back. And she was hot. They said that Anderson walked in there and he was cleaning up the control room. They said they found all my pictures, most of my pictures and shit.
Okay. One of the more interesting things we had happen here is we had two offenders that decided it would be a good idea to try and escape from their duties in the kitchen. They waited for count time, headed out this way, and they thought it'd be a good idea to hide inside the trash compactor. Back when we first got the trash compactor, it was an older, more unsecure model. They were able to actually get inside the trash compactor. They're going to try to wait out count and then try to head for the fence. Well, what they had failed to realize was that the trash compactor hadn't been run for that day yet, and it was due to be run. So had someone not realized those young men were missing, and they just went ahead with business as usual, the staff member would have came out here, they would have loaded the trash compactor up with the rest of the trash, they'd have ran the trash compactor, and we'd have had compacted offenders. And generally that's fatal inside one of those, so it's not a good place to be when those machines are working. Fortunately, the staff members realized that we had a couple missing, they called the appropriate signal, and we got the offenders wrangled up and taken into segregation before anything really bad had happened to them.
How ingenious are these kids?
If there's a lock mechanism, they'll find a way to defeat it. If there's a machine that they can use to tattoo with, or to perpetrate an escape, or to hurt a staff member, they'll find a way to do it. These kids are so ingenious. The lay person doesn't understand how gifted a lot of these young men are about being able to take things that you take totally for granted and make it into something that you would never expect from it. About a month ago that decided he just didn't want to be here anymore and tried to walk out. Apparently, as his unit was moving to dining hall, he snatched up a shovel that the grounds crew was using and tried to brain another offender with it. Got himself pepper sprayed in the process. Initially, the offenders thought he was going after the officers and didn't say anything. When the offender ran past the officers with the shovel upraised, they started shouting warnings to their peers. So Sergeant Cash Eye and Officer Smith actually have all the details on that.
Is that Wisniewski?
It wasn't Wisniewski. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. That was actually found in the kitchen by one of the dining hall workers. Feeble at best, but.
It's an attempt. Who found it?
I'm trying to think of the young man's name. We got so many new kids.
It was an offender that found it?
Yeah.
Where'd he find it?
He found it in the dish room. So my big concern is where the plastic come from. So we should be able to account for something that big.
Wondering that too.
Then this was just a.
Can you bring that to the meeting in the morning?
Yes, sir.
And maybe Elmer can identify.
Will do.
Figure out where it came from.
So if I had to guess, I'd say it's like some of the Lexan that we put over the pictures and things like that to replace the glass,
Could be.
but.
Thin enough.
What level are you currently on, young man? Did we get your placement back in? What are we waiting on your placement?
Just for it to come back.
It's been sent out. Where'd it go to?
My house.
Where'd it at?
Wabash.
Do you remember who your parole agent was? Not sure. Okay. Where's the sheet? Okay. Do you have your goals and objectives you were assigned for the review period? What was your first goal?
Answer what the rules and boundaries and behavior expectations when I was living at home.
Could you read me what your response was for that particular goal?
Do not take or mess with others' belongings, do good in school, and keep my room clean. Also help around the house by doing dishes and taking out the trash.
Very good. Nicely done on that goal. What was your next goal?
If I start to get aggressive, I can go and talk to someone about it, or also go to by myself and listen to music. and help
What
calm
are some
myself down.
other anger detours that you learned in art group? What'd you just do?
Kind of just like brush it away and don't worry about it.
Wow,
don't let it
what's the
bother
big
me.
thing?
Deep breath.
How many should you take? Couple.
Couple.
Okay, a couple of deep breaths. Kind of hard to be mad when you're breathing that deep.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a tendency to your face get real red when you get mad? So people know it. So you have to kind of watch it so people don't get out of control with it, okay? Do you have a history of having trouble doing schoolwork,
Yeah, English work, yes.
particularly English? Do you have a tendency, are you a little lazy with your English stuff, or do you just
Not
get
lazy.
frustrated?
I get frustrated over it and I don't do it. Miss Morgan even had a conversation with my parents on Monday about that one.
Well, I mean, and you're on what level?
For
Level 4 means what?
behavior and responsibilities.
Demonstration. Would you say that that's demonstrating if you're only doing 2 assignments in 10 days? It's really not up to par, is it?
Nope.
Do you understand the expectation is that you will do that?
Yeah.
If you don't meet that expectation, what's going to happen?
I get dropped.
You won't get dropped. You'll have earned to drop back down to a level that appropriates what you're doing.
I know.
You understand?
Yeah, I know.
Well, you know the level system pretty good. I'm just telling you, this needs to be a priority, and we can really focus on that during this review period. Because you've done really well on all your other stuff. You've kind of come around real nice. Probably talking too much on the walks and saying inappropriate things.
Actually, I've stopped talking on the walks as much.
You've been saying inappropriate stuff lately? You've been good? Not even with Sergeant?
I haven't been hanging around Sergeant that much.
Okay, so that's been better? Watching your negative peer interactions? Okay.
He is-
The reason I warned you about that is because sometimes you were drifting at the beginning when you got here,
I know.
and you were making bad choices.
And he gets mad at me because he goes to try to crack jokes and stuff, but I always turn it back on him, and then he gets kind of pissed off at me and goes away from me for a while, so it doesn't bother me then.
So all the better. If he's not going to be appropriate, then you can kind of get onto the right area. Are there any peers on the unit you think are being pretty appropriate right now?
Felder's doing all right, other than the occasional if the staff doesn't do one thing he asks nicely, he gets blows up at him.
And that,
Felder,
he's been better.
he's getting a lot better at it. Fortune's doing a little better. Green's actually doing stuff that's good.
We just talked to Mr. Green. He seems to, I mean, not perfect, but he seems to be working. Reminds me of somebody. Maybe somebody else when they first started to work on stuff, started plugging in a little bit and figuring out what they need to be doing. So have you attended all your classes and everything is good? Is that your last goal?
And list all the ways I have about being released.
Wow. We talked about that way early on. That was part of the reason why you weren't very plugged into your program, wasn't it? You're a little concerned about when you got out. What kind of worries did you have?
Being around my sisters, because my sisters are bad negative influences, because they like to start a lot of stuff.
What other kind of risk factors you can have once you get out?
Being around drugs and alcohol, because my family has had a bad past history.
Did you have that as a problem? Are you attending your AA group as you required?
Yes.
I had heard a report at one point, I may be mistaken, that some of the people out of that unit weren't attending AA group.
I go to every time,
Do
every
you
week.
participate fully? Make sure that you do, because that's your opportunity to work on your substance abuse stuff, okay?
And another one is being around too much violence.
Do you have a lot of violence in your past?
Yeah.
Due to the fact that you don't have your placement actually back in yet, we're still kind of waiting, and we might need to make a few phone calls on that because it seems to be kind of hanging around a little bit. Do you know if it's been out for over a month now?
No, Miss Frazier looked at it and she said that Miss Richards said she sent it out before she left, but she looked at it and there's no paperwork in her saying that she sent it out. So Miss Frazier,
She redid it?
Yeah, she redid it and sent it
Okay.
out Friday for me, right before she.
Okay,
in
so
that morning.
you help me to keep track of that. By the time the next team comes around, we ought to have your
Placement back.
placement in our hand, and we can move on. Okay.
Okay.
And the other goals and objectives have already been handwritten out for you. You'll love that one. List 100 activities you can do when released that will not involve drugs or alcohol. Well, we know how energetic you get about written assignments. You just love to write, don't you? I was being sarcastic. I got it. And then have this completed by the time your next treatment team.
I
So
already got one.
you've got one already completed. Make sure you bring that in. Yeah, it kind of helps keep track of where you're. Yeah, I do want your treatment work. Do you have any questions?
That was the favorite one. No.
And then there's your other part to go along with your other assignments. You You square?
Yep.
Keep up the good work, young man. You're doing wonderful.
Excuse me.
We figured out who needs to go to A1 from our white supremacists group.
All three of them are identified. We're still having issues with Clark. He's refusing that. He's on the cup floor. We're gonna move him to B3. Kind of put him in a corner room by himself where he can't entertain anybody.
I was
Probably
thinking,
in trouble. I could probably pull over there almost immediately, and I think they would function better without Clark. I don't want all three of them at the same time.
I agree. In fact, what my thoughts were leave Clark in B for probably 30 days, and then
Pull the others over.
pull the other two over there. Which two are you going for? Cripe?
Cripe and trouble. I talked to them about yesterday, and they seem to want to get out of SAC finally, and we'll do the right thing for at least a little while.
I'd probably feel more comfortable with those two going to A1 than I would anywhere else. If nothing else, they'll be outnumbered.
Yeah. And I don't think we want to just send one of them over there either. Eric and I were talking about that yesterday.
They'll be forced to apply just by the sheer numbers, I would think. I want to see if we can get those two released while you're working on these other two too.
I think Cohen's
Frees up some days.
identified. She sent all the paperwork downtown at least, so they will be identified by the end of the week, I'm sure.
Where are you? I don't think I know anything about that. When did this happen?
Yesterday morning.
It's probably part of this. We're getting ready to go through this in a minute, so. Is that Beatty?
I put him in SEG on PC yesterday.
I don't see it in here, actually.
The kid that they beat up, the other kid that had
Beatty?
12
Is he still locked up?
B4 roster?
Hmm?
You check the B4 roster?
That's probably on the one I just wrote on. The back of it. I put the kid that had 12 stitches in his mouth in SIG last night on PC. But we know who the 3 kids are that ran into D and battered him in Sallyport.
This happened yesterday.
Yesterday about 8 something, about 8 o'clock in the morning, about 8:20.
SEALs do the incident report, conduct reports.
I hadn't got that far in my day yet.
There you go. 412.
But I placed him on PC
Yesterday because he had an injury.
yesterday, yes.
12 stitches to his mouth. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to lock him up if you're sure that you got the right 3 people.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and place them in segregation. And you have enough information to issue the violations? Or just,
Yes.
you think? Okay. All right. Go ahead and do that. So all the rooms we just emptied out, sounds like we just filled back in.
Probably in B4 there should be. They were kicking 5 kids out this morning, so there should have been plenty of beds on that side.
Okay.
Go ahead and round them up.
Okay.
Put them in there. Thanks. All right, folks. That's it.